Hello, I'm Terry Gilliam, and I have a confession to make. Many of you are not going to like this film.
What up, it's Layla. I am doing a movie review on this instant classic by Mr. Gilliam.
Many of you, luckily, are going to love it.
Called Tideland. The movie starts out with little Eliza Rose doing her little girl thing, playing, and kind of giving you the feel of where this movie takes place, and her little clubhouse as she talks to her friends, the Fireflies, and Mystique, a doll's head. And then it cuts to Mr. Rockstar. I don't know his name. I think he's a dad. He's doing his rockstar thing, whatever. He's not even a rockstar. He's just like some has-been in a band. His home life isn't really less to par. He is married to a heroin addict, and he is also a heroin addict. And it's pretty sad seeing little Eliza Rose knowing how to fix up their fix and like all that bad stuff. They're talking about Yutland, the place where they're gonna live. They don't seem to like Jennifer Tilly's character very much, and it was pretty funny. Pretty funny that she could go from some really gorgeous woman to be playing a junky fat mom.
On a side note, Terry Gilliam made this movie right after Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. So, like, the very beginning of the movie, we're seeing him all drugged out in heroin. You can totally tell that, like, he still has that, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, Hunter S. Thompson feel to it. Like, he hasn't shaken it off yet. Because this is right after Fear and Loathing, and before he did The Brothers Grimm and The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. So, he still didn't go back to his, fantasy feel to it yet, but he's still trying to bring in the fantasy feel. So, yeah. Also, that you can totally tell this movie was also made 2 years after Haunted Mansion, so you can totally tell she wasn't wiping the cobwebs off of that movie either, because she had the kind of the same aura as that head in a bubble character. But yeah, back to the movie.
Family life is not really up to par, and it's pretty obvious. Jennifer Tilly's character, the mom, she she's all like, "Sweetie, when you're done, come and do mommy's legs." She goes ahead and like the little girl is like massaging the mom's legs, and the mom's all like,
"Eliza Rose, you know I love you, don't you?" Oh.
"You know I'm gonna get you something real beautiful one day, and blah, 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 blah. You know I love you." And as soon as Eliza Rose is about to reach for a chocolate,
"What the fuck are you doing? How many times do I have to tell you to stay away from my chocolate, you little bitch?"
So Mother Gruhilda, whatever, she ends up doing a methadone.
All the things you love, yeah. Yeah, there'd be horses on there and, yeah.
Some of these.
Plates of gold. Come on, honey.
These two.
Yeah, that's it. What else did you love on there?
Shoes.
Oh, yeah, shoes. She loves shoes. That's it. That's it. I'll lay her to rest on my back and shit. Oh, yeah. Set her on fire. Adrift the great misty fjords at dawn. No, sweetie!
Maybe it's a bad idea.
Come on
It
now.
might burn up the whole building. And everyone else.
You're right. Let's go. Don't stare. It's bad luck. Come on.
Ow!
Sending her off in his Viking-esque funeral, only not in a leg. But my favorite quote in this whole scene is,
Who's the methadone that killed her? Should have kept her on the junk. I should have just cut her dose and kept her on it. Now she's dead and I don't have a car.
so Eliza Rose and Noah, the father, ends up hopping a Greyhound and going out to the prairie to live the life as they want to live, because no one wants to be in the same room as a dead body, do you? Well, I kinda do. Back to Queen Gruhilda. Well, we now know how she got to have her head in the freaking, like, crystal globe in the Haunted Mansion.
Well, good job, Mr. Gilliam. You've finally gone back to your roots of fantasy. This transition you have on the Greyhound going from night to day is literally what this movie is for you from doing Fear and Loathing. This movie truly is, that right there, that sequence right there, is truly your transition from that to Brothers Grimm. Night and day. That's all I gotta say on that one.
Daddy Noah is just being all kinds of obnoxious to the people in the Greyhound, saying, "Fuck that," and farting and stretching and going, "Ah." It's pretty funny. 15 minutes in, we still haven't gone to any fantasy shit, but, whatever. So, the bus rides over, and they hitch a ride from this guy with the stutter all the way to the middle of the prairie to Grandma's house. That apparently has a real bad squirrel problem. I always wanted a house kind of like Grandma's. No, not out in the sticks. In the prairie, because in the sticks you have neighbors still. In the sticks you do drugs and have neighbors, and there's dogs and cats and everything. In the prairie, you don't have any neighbors. They go inside Grandma's house and they find out that the entire place has been abandoned for a long fucking while and vandalized throughout the years. Fucking shithole. So while Noah the dad is, throwing a little bitch fit downstairs, Eliza Rose goes off and tries to find a new bedroom, unpacking when she finds a nice little blue one with a little window, and it's really dusty. Big lived alligator moment, by the way. She starts coughing up blood. I wonder why. Maybe from infancy, she's had cigarette smoke blown in her face, and, I don't know, cooking up fucking heroin for her mom and dad, you know? But it's a big lived alligator moment because throughout the movie they don't really mention it again. I think I'd mention it if I was coughing up blood. You know, that's just me. Blood should not be coming out of your mouth. So Noah goes on a little vacation just to leave Eliza Rose by herself just to entertain herself. I mean, she has friends, yeah, but her friends consist of 4 doll heads. 5. I don't know, 4 or 5. But they're heads. But, yeah. I wouldn't leave a little girl to explore a random place on her own. And the house is so fucking abandoned. There's no TV. There's barely a radio that she brought herself. There is not anything except for, like, grasslands way before the eye can see. And that's where we leave off in the beginning. Her in an abandoned, turned-over school bus near the train tracks, just screaming and playing by herself. So far, it's just Eliza Rose entertaining herself like little girls do, and she ends up finding herself in the attic, and Terry Gilliam. Terry Gilliam. You have a moment there. You have a really what the fuck moment there. Yep. That's all I have to say, what the fuck. So Eliza Rose goes back to her daddy saying she had a bad dream. Thank you, Terry. And, it cuts to this, well, he's still on vacation, and you can tell he's alive because he moves his arm. And then it cuts to outside the house, and you see a figure in black clothing just clap her hands and spit on the house, and then he goes back into the morning. See Eliza Rose waking up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, ready to have a fun day with her daddy. So she waits out near the tree, and yada yada, she sees that woman, and she follows her back to her house. And, basically she takes care of her brother, who ends up being mentally handicapped, and she ends up following, well, the real thing is, she ends up following, spying on her, and all that shit. And so she goes back to her house, talking to her little bodiless friends. Oh, we had so much fun, we were dancing and playing games, and la la la. Girl, you're all kinds of lying. But you're a child, and I know children lie sometimes, so
Such
there's
a
that.
wonderful time. They invited me into their little stone house. They really did. And we danced and played games and sang songs. Her name is Dell. And she had the radio fixed. And I danced with Dickens. It was wonderful, Mystique. Well, I wouldn't know, would I? I wasn't there.
Yeah. Mystique's a real bitch, but, here you can see them actually fucking talking back and not Eliza Rose talking for them. So, of course, as dead bodies do, they start rotting and smelling, and, Eliza Rose is like, what's that stank? What died? And she thinks her dad's still on, quote-unquote, vacation. To be young again. You can tell that one day this chick is gonna have schizophrenia. Okay, so, later on in the day, Dickens shows up. Dell's brother. He shows up, finally, after just her acting by herself in, some fucking weird-ass scuba gear. Why do you need scuba gear out in the fucking prairie?
Oh, by the way, the guy playing Dickens is motherfucking, Bill Williamson from fucking Rampage 1 and 2, Yuva Bull's Golden Boy. It makes sense that the guy who went full retard went full Rampage. Motherfucking Rampage guy.
So Dickens takes her, Eliza Rose, to his submarine, and he tells her about the shark, the mega shark. Oh my god, what is the mega shark? It's a fucking train. Sorry to ruin it for you, it's a fucking train. So Dickens gets called for dinner, he freaks out, he's like, you better go home too. And, then there's a dream sequence underwater, and,
Away under the seas. you love Dickens. No, I don't. You want to kiss the cut on his head and hold hands. But he's a sissy. He's a shark hunter. He has a submarine, too. Except it's a fake. He's gonna be rich and buy a real one. He has more pennies than you. Hey, wait for me. That monster shark might be about. Don't worry. Dickens, a sea captain, will save us. He's sailing under the seas now. He's diving deep to the place where dreams are made. He walks along the shore, all littered with dreams and hopes. Dickens, my brave sea captain. Boop, 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 boop.
The sea is coming up! We have you cleared out and have you struck to the yard. Sent to Davy Jones.
Have mercy! Have mercy!
Mutiny. Looks like the
They're gonna crash
pirate
back
took
down into
the cat
reality.
prison.
Where, Eliza Rose is talking to Mystique. And Mystique's all like, he doesn't look like a sea captain. And she's all like, no, not in real life. He's just bossed around by his sister. So, the way that Dell pays for her groceries is basically fucking the guy that delivers the groceries. And Eliza Rose walks in on them and she's like, she's a witch and she's sucking up his soul. Gotta save Dickens.
I thought she was gonna be my friend. Say, isn't that the rabbit hole you found? Looks bigger than before. Maybe I could crawl in. I want to look in. Show me. Okay, all right. I'm falling very slowly, dear. The sides of the hole are filled with cupboards and bookshelves. Can you hear me? Snake! No! Don't listen to her! She's gone, Eliza Rose. It's too dangerous to rescue Mystique. You have to face up to it. That! She's not dead yet.
Man, her fucking friend Mystique is turning into a real fucking bitch. It's making me worry about Eliza Rose that, like, maybe she's like a secret bitch. I don't know. Like, really demanding, dude. I should make a meme called, Shut Up, Mystique. You're a bitch. So she goes to bed and she tries to rescue Mystique because Mystique ends up getting dropped down a rabbit hole. And she gets woken up by Dickens rocking her now dead dad, that's probably rotting profusely right now, back and forth. And he's all like, your daddy sleeps a lot. Just like my mama. And like, she's like, is your mama a ghost? And he's like, no, not anymore. But she does sleep a lot, which is like a key thing. It's like foreshadowing what's gonna go on later on in the movie, which is pretty weird. So he found out the reason why Dickens is probably the way he is because he drove a school bus on the train tracks and it got crashed into and tipped over and all that shit, and he ended up surviving, and his brain just like,
Is it me, or is she just a little too touchy, if you get my drift? I understand she's 11 years old, a lot of traumatizing things and weird whatever hormones, but she seems a little too touchy.
Well, that's the thing, you know? She's a little girl, and she's constantly stuck in this play mode. She's constantly stuck in her little own bubble. And she's the princess. She's the damsel in distress, and she wants to find her prince. And when she does find her prince, she does get a little too touchy, or, please help me, and blah. Why? Because that's how princesses act, and they don't understand the difference between reality and fantasy, and even if it's a retard, it's gonna be her prince in shining armor, because she's not old enough to understand that.
Motherfucking Prince Rampage! Now, after all this waiting, after waiting an hour, let's see here, an hour and 10 fucking minutes, she finally falls to the rabbit hole. I understand this is supposed to be kind of like, I get it now. The big twist is, it's basically a modern-day Alice in Wonderland, but now she finally falls to the looking glass. Like, literally, it's like, imagine if, like, you know, Wizard of Oz, like, you know, waited till an hour and 10 minutes to fucking finally have her land in Oz. Or in the sake of this, Alice in Wonderland meets, it's basically Dorothy meets Alice. And imagine waiting this fucking long to finally go to Oz or finally go to Wonderland. Really? Halfway through, we finally see it? Now we get why they're so fucking crazy. And we understand this premise. Because they're, crazy. Not crazy, but fucked up shit happened, and this is what led them to go crazy.
Hold on, July's Rose. We're coming. Hurry up! Oh, is she dead? I can't be sure. Oh, look! She's breathing. She's awake. Mama must be pretty hungry. Pretty thirsty, too. What's that?
Holy fuck, what the fuck is this? I don't even know what to say. You take over, boss lady.
Okay, so July's Rose fainted, and she was having that little like trippy moment with the rabbit hole, and she wakes up to hear Dell and Dickens yelling downstairs. She doesn't know what to do, so she goes downstairs, and we see Dell look down at her dad with a bunch of machines and everything going on, and said, "I'll never leave you again. No more running away. I love you." And, like, proceeds to kiss the dead man on the lips. I know what's going to go on, but I'm not going to tell my wing girl, like, what's going on yet. But the thing is, I'm going to tell you what's going on because I'm a douche that way. Dell is draining Noah's blood out. So she could, like, sew him up and taxiderm him. Apparently she knows what to do when it comes to taxiderming, though.
Well, we saw earlier.
But a little bit of necrophilia.
Yeah, big necrophilia. You got it?
And you find out during this whole monologue that she has that Dell and Noah used to have a thing going on.
Dell and who?
Noah, the daddy.
Yeah. Here's what I think is really crazy. Off topic, but on, like, the whole cinematography. Now this feels... It takes long enough. I mean, there's a few stuff that kind of felt like it, but it feels literally like a, it feels like a Terry Gilliam film. I mean, cinematically, just the shots and shit like that. Like, this whole thing just literally now it feels actually... Congratulations, Mr. Gilliam. You finally got your shit back. You can totally tell that, it just cinematically feels like a Terry Gilliam film now. It's kind of like the last one, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, how it just didn't feel like a Terry Gilliam movie, and then when they go to the casino with the lizards and shit, just the whole sequence, like, cinematically and art of photography, it now finally feels, like I said, a Terry Gilliam film.
So, Lazarus faints again and wakes up to see her father's body, skin-ish now, is splayed on the couch with a big, massive black hole in the middle. And the first thing this child says is it better now? Yeah, that is some, like, Shining shit.
Now she's finally feeling something. I know a lot of other critics will say, well, she didn't feel anything when her mom died. She didn't feel anything. No, it's because she's naive and doesn't know better, you fucking assholes. But now she's finally realizing, like, literally, like, if you're a kid who has no concept of death, this is, like, shit's getting real, but, yeah. This is almost like, what the imaginary world would look like. Like, like you always see, like, the imaginary, like, fantasy world and stuff, among all these little kids. This is, like, what's really going on while they're seeing, like, Tweedledee and Tweedledum or something. Or, like, the Munchkins and stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, basically, this is the non-hallucination. This is how I really understand it now. It's really blowing my mind. So this is what's really going on when a little girl... This is like how everybody looks at the innocence and cuteness of Shirley Temple films? Well, this is like a realistic what's really going on in a Shirley Temple film. It's pretty messed up.
You mean Judy Garland?
And Judy Garland.
Well, Judy Garland's more messed up than Shirley Temple.
But I say, well, Judy Garland because she's more messed up, but Judy Garland, like, her... yeah, you can say that because of Wizard of Oz and shit. Like, so basically, what's really going on in real life with Dorothy, but like I say, Shirley Temple movies, because it's like a little girl, like always, like hitchhiking to like cross country, and creepy old people are picking her up, or shit like this. That's what this is.
Okay, there must be something cynical about this girl because she likes punishment a little too much. So she brings her two like bodiless friends to downstairs where she sees her dad, blah 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 blah, and like Dell says. You want to put something in there? Make sure it's dear to your heart. So, since her two little friends were, like, being fucking assholes, or bitches, or whatever, Like, she's like, you know what, just to punish you, I'm gonna do this little freaking weird-ass smirk and put you inside my dead dad as a punishment. While you're screaming, no, 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 no. Something's messed up with Eliza Rose. So this little girl gets a smack to reality. She finally understands that her father is dead. And that she is alone with this crazy stranger who has the ability to taxiderm a human body and a guy who drove a bus on the train tracks. And when poor little Eliza Rose wanted some consoling, wanted a hug, Dell is too much of a mentally fucked up person to give her any affection. So this little girl is truly alone in the world.
Like, you know.
So Dell, instead of offering and coddling her about the death of her dad, she's all like, you know what? Shit happens. Okay, we gotta clean up this fucking house because an untidy house is an untidy person. And so she's actually helping Eliza Rose do things for herself for her to survive, which is something that...
And get her mind off of the fucking...
And get her mind off of her dad's death also. But, like, it's so sad when you had to teach a 6-year-old or 10-year-old, whatever, to survive on their own because you don't want to take care of them. Yeah, it's not her responsibility to take care of her, but still, you know, she's a small little girl.
In the prairie with no food or anything.
In the prairie with no food or anything, not even a solitary human friend. Right now, all her friends, they're either inside her dad, in a rabbit hole, or...
Sand lips. Baby blonde. Are you there? Hallelujah. Behold, brothers and sisters, she's been washed in the blood of Jesus. A full recovery is expected. I've never been so happy. I'm alive.
I'm alive. Eliza Rose, you know I love you, don't you?
Honey, I'm sorry.
Honey, I'm sorry. I'll do something nice for you
Hallelujah.
soon.
She's born
I
again.
promise, baby.
Jesus is giving her a new brain.
Have some chocolate.
And then she goes to her dad and cries. And gets woken up by another big explosion! And then she sees a fire up over yonder where the train tracks are. You feel really sorry for the girl in this whole movie, yeah. The director himself made commentary on this, and he said it was from the mind of a child, blah, 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 blah. But you really feel bad for her, because you as an adult know that everything that she's doing is wrong, but she doesn't understand that. I can just say it leaves you at a point where you hope, you pray, that something better comes along.
She finally meets somebody, like, you know, another person who was a victim on the train crash. I mean, Dickens obviously blew up the train.
He obviously died.
And he obviously died in that situation. And fucking, yeah, it's pretty fucked up. You know, there's no happy ending, which is typical Terry Gilliam. But, yeah, I mean, nothing crazy happens. It's all out of just random dream sequences that makes no sense. Like, yeah, that's the whole thing about it is you're just waiting for something cool to happen. Nothing cool happens at all. It's just tragedy after tragedy after tragedy. Any last words you gotta say? Because this is your fucking review.
No, I just like this movie a lot. I remember seeing it when I was bored at like 4 a.m. And I liked it ever since, and there's very few people that have actually seen this movie, and it's severely underrated, and I wish that more people did see this.